I was skeptical about this one at first. I mean, I've tried a few projectors over the years, and most of them either look washed out in a bright room or feel like they're lagging behind every time I move in a fast-paced game. Then I got my hands on the Optoma UHD50X, and honestly, it changed how I watch movies and play games at home. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What really surprised me was the picture quality right out of the box. This isn't one of those projectors that needs a pitch-black room to look decent. With 3400 lumens, it actually stays bright enough to watch during the day without squinting. I set it up in my living room with the blinds open, and the colors still pop: deep reds in action scenes, rich greens in nature shots, and blacks that don't just disappear into a gray haze. That's thanks to the dynamic black feature, which adjusts contrast on the fly so dark scenes don't look flat. Now, if you're a gamer like me, input lag is everything. I've played on projectors before where every button press felt delayed, and it ruins the experience. The UHD50X fixes that with a 16 milliseconds response time and a 240 Hz refresh rate. I tested it with *Call of Duty* and *Fortnite*, and honestly, it felt like playing on a high-end monitor. The enhanced gaming mode makes a real difference: no stuttering, no ghosting, just smooth gameplay. And because it supports 4K at 60 Hz and even 1080p at 240 Hz, you're not sacrificing resolution for speed. One thing that stood out was how easy it was to set up. I'm not the most tech-savvy person, but I had this thing running in under 20 minutes. The flexible installation options mean you can mount it on the ceiling, place it on a table, or even use it short throw if your space is tight. I ended up putting it on a shelf behind my couch, and the image still fills my 120-inch screen without any distortion. The built-in speaker is decent for casual watching, but if you're serious about sound, you'll probably want to pair it with a soundbar or speakers, just something to keep in mind. Another cool feature is the HDR10 and HLG compatibility. I streamed a few 4K HDR movies, and the highlights really shine. The bright parts of the image don't wash out, and the dark parts keep their detail. It's not as punchy as a high-end OLED TV, but for a projector, it's impressive. Plus, the 3400 lumens mean you don't have to dim the lights completely, which is a game-changer if you're watching with family or friends. I also love how quiet it is. Some projectors sound like a small jet engine when they're running, but this one stays whisper quiet even when it's working hard. That's a big deal if you're trying to focus on a movie or a game without background noise. So, what don't I like? Well, the remote is a bit flimsy. It feels a little cheap compared to the premium price tag, and I've accidentally pressed buttons a few times because of it. Also, while the brightness is great for daytime viewing, if you're in a completely dark room, you might still want to tweak the settings to avoid eye strain. It's not a deal breaker, but it's worth mentioning. Overall, the Optoma UHD50X is a solid choice if you want a 4K projector that doesn't break the bank but still delivers great performance. Whether you're into movies, gaming, or just want a big screen experience at home, this thing checks a lot of boxes. It's not perfect, but for the price, it's hard to beat. If you're thinking about upgrading your setup, the link is below. Check it out and see if it's the right fit for you. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Optoma UHD50X True 4K UHD projector for movies and gaming, 240 Hz refresh rate, lowest input lag on 4K projector, enhanced gaming mode 16 milliseconds response time, HDR10 and HLG compatibility. 3400 lumens sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like True 4K Ultra HD and lag-free gaming actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off.